No, first of all, everybody knows, I think, that I like young players, talented young players. That is first. Secondly, when you go to older players, they have to be better than the younger ones.
And Coach, I think a bit of a surprise, Chaine as well.
Sir.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. Karabo Pasha, freelance journalist. Chaine has been there, through the Rexen era with the club, with the national team rather. Any particular reason why he's not in the squad?
I will not give comment on players I dropped for this camp. So I will not give comment either for FIFA.
Temba Shabalala, Joseph M Sports. Coach, Ronaldo Lina comes into the squad. What have you seen in him that made him, beat the other candidates that were there?
I think Lina is a very good goalkeeper. So I saw his performances with Shakukune. So then you think about him. Secondly, as you know, we have all goalkeepers of 30 and more. So that means that we have to look at the future. Okay, I know Lina is not a young keeper, but we have to look for solutions. If something happens with Goss, with Sifo, with Ronwen, that we have something to back up. And that's also a reason why Lina is with us.
Just piggybacking off the goalkeepers there, Coach Nick, again. You spoke last year during the qualifying campaign about how you were struggling a little bit at goalkeeper position. I mean, what is it in this last couple of months almost that now all of a sudden goalkeepers seem to be putting their hands up and there's a surplus as opposed to what may have been seen as a shortage before?
Yeah, I don't know. When I see, okay, Lina is with us, but when you see also Brandon Petersen, he was performing very good with Chiefs. It was the same thing, I think, more than a year ago, and then suddenly his performances dropped. So okay, we said no, we don't take him. So I thought I could take him now, but yeah, now he's injured. So, but it's good that you have people to back up those guys who are always there. And one day you shall have to replace them. Ronden cannot play till he's 40. So you have to look for the future. And maybe those guys like Lina, like Petersen, are maybe the guys who will be the Bafana Bafana goalkeeper in the future.
Yeah, Coach Velile here, you speak about the team not having the DNA at the AFCON.
Yeah.
Can you please expand more on Bafana Bafana's DNA on and off the field?
You know, it's very clear. First of all, it's the quality. So when you don't have quality, okay, you can be in Bafana Bafana, and your performances are showing your quality every week in the PSL or in the club and the team we are playing. Secondly, and it's even important as the quality, is the mentality. When you don't have the right mentality, it's very difficult and it can ruin the atmosphere in the group. Third, you have the discipline. When there is no discipline, and you know those are sometimes details. When you can have the discipline to come, for example, on time for meals, you will not have the discipline to follow the tactical rules that the coach give you in the field. It is like that. And there is your attitude as a professional player. We talked already about Jaden. We talked already about Mbokazi. I don't have to return on that. But that was not the right attitude. I think they learn a lot of that. And sometimes you have to be very tough with someone. Making him understand that is not the right way, man. So you see how Jaden, for example, came back. So when you don't have all this together, you're not ready to come be Bafana Bafana. And that happens, is one of the reasons, is not, but is the main reason that happened in AFCON in Morocco. And that's why we didn't perform on the pitch, because out of the pitch, it was not right either.
And Coach, maybe, sorry, Karab again, can you also just expand on that. What changed? What changed that the attitude was not right at the AFCON, particularly as such a massive...
Again, this is something between Elman and me. We make the evaluation of AFCON, I think, 3-4 days after we came back. And we saw things that couldn't happen anymore. And we saw also things that we knew that we couldn't change immediately. So we dropped them and we took other players. And I hope that those guys maybe who are not there now are putting themselves in front of a mirror and ask themselves, why am I not anymore with the national team?
Coach, is a player like Ime Okon someone that you may have to put your arm around? I think when he was announced in the prelim squad, there was a lot of talk about him being of Nigerian descent and this and that. But
yeah, we followed already a long time Ime, but yeah, he had some injuries and he couldn't be with us. Don't underestimate the level of the second division in Germany. It's quite a high level and there are tough games to play. So when you're always in the team, that means that everybody is happy with you in the club. And when we are looking then these games and we are also satisfied, then you have to call him. And now it's up to him. It's up to him to prove that he is ready to be with Bafana Bafana.
No, I was just saying, Coach, mentally, because when he was announced in the prelim squad...
Yeah, but I just told you that mentally is also important. So we will see now. I know him as a football player. I don't know him as a human being. I never talked to him. He never been with the national team. I will see now this week. And maybe after this week, we have to say, no, sorry, we will not call him back.
Coach, someone like Tambazwane, boy from Tam's Life, someone like Tambazwane, given his age and the fact that he's not really played much, if he gets to the World Cup, what sort of role do you see him playing? Is he a starting player or somebody who can use as impact and also just experience in the dressing room?
I don't have to explain you what impact Temba had on the national team. And then suddenly there was his injury. And honestly, I thought it was his end of the career. When you have that injury on that age, there's a big chance that your career is finished. But when I hear then how hard he worked to come back, and when I hear then his ambition to come back, I talked with him. He was on the game. I don't know anything. The last qualifier against Rwanda or against Zimbabwe, I don't know. So I talked with him 5 minutes and I felt immediately how he loved to be again with the national team. I think then you don't have to hesitate when that guy is fit. And I don't. So we will see now, because again, we have to see how fit he is and what he can bring us with the national team. So and I hope that we can have again Tambazwane, who is really very important for that team. He's a very experienced player. You don't hear him, but everyone has respect for him. And I see also in Sundowns, everyone has respect for him. And sometimes it's very important to have such a player in your team.
Coach, you're looking at
Yes. Go ahead.
a player like SCBC. You just spoke about a player who's got support from his team, but he's been under tremendous pressure from some of his fans at Pirates. How do you deal with that player?
You know, being under pressure because you miss a penalty is the most ridiculous thing you can imagine. Because all those who are afraid to give it, they were already in the dressing room. He took his responsibility as a captain of Pirates. Okay, he missed it. He missed it. He's not the first player who missed the penalty. Cape Verde missed 5 times against us, the penalty. So it was really ridiculous, and that means, or that shows again what social media is. It's trash. It's just trash. When you put someone under pressure and you criticize him because he missed a penalty, then you don't know anything about football.
Coach, guys, can we please not live stream our press conference, guys?
Mthokozisi FIFA post. Coach,
That's important.
I'm here, Coach. You mentioned something very interesting about Tylon Smith
Yeah.
that he impressed you.
Yeah.
What impressed you about him?
Well, yeah, what impressed me is quality. I never thought that for such a young player that he was already so mature, also in the trainings. He was very good in the trainings. When you are on the bench in a team like QPR, even its second division in England, that means something. And I saw what I saw. But there is a lack of experience, and we are going to the World Cup. So I have to think about for the future what I will do with him. Maybe I take him with the World Cup, what I did with AFCON. Or maybe, yes, I choose the more sure thing to have a player who has some experience and blah, 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 blah. But again, I was very pleased with his performances on training during AFCON.
Coach Michel Balega, Independent Media. Tell me, Coach, were you happy that we had to get an opponent like Panama, and we think that will give us the perfect test, especially at home?
Yeah, for sure. Otherwise, I shouldn't accept it. That team is on the 33rd place on the world ranking. It's 30 places higher than we are. So that means that there are some qualities. Secondly, it's a Mid-American style. Panama, Ecuador, Costa Rica, Mexico, that's all the same style of playing. And we play against Mexico. So it has to be, it will be a very good test for us. First of all, how will we adapt on that kind of teams? And secondly, how strong are we now for that in this moment? And what we have to do in the future to be ready to play against Mexico?
Coach, Bongani Mtimkulia from Defi SA News. Coach, what message do you have for the fans? Because you did say that the South African fans love social media too much and you need support in Durban, in Cape Town. With the squad already announced, there's already talk about how emotional the fans are. So what message do you have for South African fans?
The only message I had already for the last 4 years, come to the stadium and support us. That's the only thing. And it's not because you lose or because the result is not what you expected that you have to criticize the team and break it down till the bottom. That happens after AFCON. And honestly, I was a little bit laughing with such criticism because there is no basic to do that. If 4 years you bring everything everybody wants, and then suddenly you don't succeed, that doesn't mean that suddenly you are a bad coach, that suddenly you are a bad team. It doesn't go like that. So come to the stadium, support us. You saw what it means for players when the supporters are there, where there is a crowd in the stadium. They can do more when there is a difficult moment in the game or when you play a difficult game. So just come to the stadium, just come to Durban, just come to Cape Town and support us. And then it will be easier for us to do good performances.
Coach, Coach, just you spoke about obviously Panama being a Middle American team playing in a similar style to Mexico. I mean, why choose Cape Town and Durban for those games where the Mexico game will be played at a very high altitude, similar to somewhere like Joburg or even more?
Yeah, but you can't play that game on high altitude because you don't have the time to adapt, and that we will do before the World Cup. So we will be at the latest the 31st of May in Pachuca, so 2,300 meters high, same height than same altitude than Mexico, and then we need 10 days. So we will be 10 days on high altitude, and we will be adapted when we play against Mexico. But now going on high altitude and playing against Panama, that should be a disaster, really a disaster.
Coach Caristo?
Yeah. Yes. Coach, I would just like to understand maybe if there's a follow-up. Have you finalized in terms of, I hear you talk about maybe assembling, in fact, leaving on the 31st, going to Mexico on the 31st. Have you finalized in terms of when do you want to start your camp here and maybe how many matches outside these two?
How many matches? We can only play one match because the players are released the 25th of May. So we will see then. Let's hope we can play 29, 30 of May, and then fly the 31st. And I beg again, really beg Safa and all those people who can arrange that we go with a charter to Mexico. I was in Mexico a few weeks ago. I traveled from Joburg to Atlanta, 16 hours in the plane. I wait 3 hours, and I fly from Atlanta to Mexico City, again 3 hours, and from Mexico City to Pachuca with a bus, it's nearly 2 hours. Count also the 2 hours you have to be in the airport for departure. That means that you are 26 hours on the way. When you arrive in that way to Mexico on the 31st, you need 2-3 days before you recuperate. You lose 2-3 days. So again, and I told already Safa, and I told already the people who has to know it, please, I beg you, make a charter for us that we can fly from here direct to Mexico City. And it will help us a lot. It will help us a lot.
Coach, Young Asipende from the Daily Maverick. You've been here now for 5 years. My question is, how would you like South Africans to remember you whenever you leave, and how important will the next few months be towards that legacy?
I just hope that that people will have respect for what I did here during the 5 years. I'm not a stupid man. I know where Bafana Bafana was when I arrived here, and I see now where Bafana Bafana is. Everyone loves Bafana Bafana again. They're coming to the stadiums, they support us. Yes, I just hope that people know that that was 5 years hard work, but that I'm very happy, I'm very satisfied being here 5 years and having those results with the team.
Okay, the last two questions, guys. You still want to ask a question? Okay.
Coach Nobo from Soccer Beat. Coach, earlier on you spoke about, you mentioned Relay, you mentioned Sipombule, you mentioned Tembazwane for that 10th role. My question is, what do you look for in this 10th role as a national team coach? What are the qualities that you want to possess from a player profile for that 10th role for the national team?
Yeah, there is somebody who let the team better play. And Sifo did it in September, October, in the qualifiers for World Cup. Bule was outstanding in those games. But yeah, there is also something like consistency. And when you see what Temba did before his injury, he was really very consistent in his performances, and he made us better play. He made us making better performances because he's intelligent. I can't explain you that. And I never say something against Temba. You have to do this, you have to do that. He just do it. And he just do what I want. I think Rele can do it also. I'm sure of it. He's not a winger. Really, he's not a winger. So I will see now if he can satisfy us on that position. For me, he will not play anymore on the wings because I don't think he's a winger. He don't have the qualities to be a good winger. I think he has the qualities to be a good number 10 because there with his intelligence, with his qualities, he can help the team a lot. So it's up to him now. I will give him the chance, and we will see what that will bring us.
Coach, what do you make of the...
Coach, that's from Popular Video. Coach, when selecting your team and putting together like this team, have you seen more support from other coaches in terms of information on players that you need and being able to make your choices even easier?
Help from other coaches?
In terms of the information of the players, when you're selecting a player, speaking to other coaches, has that made that easy for you to choose like certain players to build your team? If I speak with other coaches about a player, I just want to know how he's doing. I have eyes in my head and I see if players have quality or not. But the other thing, again, what is his attitude? What is his mentality? This is something the coach of a club can inform me.
and that is important for me.
Okay, then last question here.
Coach, on something a bit different, there's been discussion in the country recently regarding, because of the evolution of football and data and how coaches must approach things. Being a senior man in this thing, how must coaches, if you were to advise younger coaches, how must they approach this coaching thing, data and just being on the field and coaching players and that kind of stuff?
Look, football is more than playing with the ball and on a green surface. What happens after the game, it's even more important. What is the guy doing when there is no training? What is the guy eating? Is he going to sleep at the moment he has to go to sleep? And all those things. So it's more than playing football. It's an attitude. And sometimes when I see players here, not in my team, but when I go and see games, I see players, I see that they are not what they have to be as a football player, as a professional player. And this is the big difference between here, South Africa, Africa in general, maybe the North not, but the rest of Africa, and Europe. Europe is not only your training and the matches. No. They're also watching what are you doing after the match? How are you living? What are you eating? And so on, and so on, and so on. And that makes you better. So I think, and it's not easy, and it's not up to me to do that, but I think there is a lot of work to do in South Africa on that level. Because when I see players sometimes on the pitch, I don't think that they deserve to be there.
Coach, you've been in African football for quite a long time, so you would be at liberty to comment on this. The decision to strip the AFCON title from Senegal, what did you make of it?
The only thing I can say is that CAF shows again that there is no consistency in their decisions. It's very painful for Senegal to lose that cup, but there is a rule, Article 83 or something. So there is a rule. If you leave the pitch, it's forfeit. Done, finished. So in that direction, I can follow. The only thing is why you don't do it earlier, why you wait 2 months. At the other side, there is also a rule when you select a player with 2 yellow cards that directly after the game you have to complain, and 24 hours later you have to send your complaint to FIFA. It didn't happen when we put Mokoena in the team. And 6 months later, they decide to deduct 3 points. Even the rule said what they had to do. And this is something that I don't understand. And I said it already before. You have to be consistent in what you decide. And not for this one doing that, and for the other one doing this, and not following the rules. So here again, yeah, it's very painful. But you could do it much earlier and saying, look guys, you don't even to wait for a complaint of Morocco. No, here, look, that's a rule. Out. Morocco has the cup.
That brings this press conference to an end.
Merci, coach.